Avoid tricks, cons, and lies. If you want to be a magician, do magic. This quote today comes from a magician known as Garrett Thomas. If you're familiar with Garrett Thomas, you know that he has been a consultant, a sleight of hand magician, a master magician for decades. So, first thing I want to talk about is I want to say I'm sorry. That's my first thing. I apologize, right? Because one of my main staples in my carry around show or my everyday magic is the ring thing, and I've been doing it wrong. So on Friday, for the magic video of the day, I was going to do ring thing, and I figured why not do Garrett Thomas as the magician of the week? And so I started doing my deep dive. And I realized I was doing the wrong version. It wasn't even his version. It was a version that was done back early, maybe 2010-ish. But either way, Greg Wilson was allowed by Garrett Thomas to do ring thing on his instructional video. And he did his own version, which was a version that Garrett didn't particularly like because it was one of, I guess the way he explains it in an interview with Murphy's Magic is that it was like a previously failed version that he himself had gone through that he didn't enjoy. He didn't like. It didn't work. Magically speaking, creatively speaking. So he has spent over a decade now trying to correct that. And unfortunately, I fell for it too. And so I was doing it incorrectly. Here's what we're going to do for you today, though. We tracked down the original promotional video as well as where you could buy it if you want to pick it up. I know I will be doing very soon. I will be buying this DVD, but I need a DVD player first. But if it's a download, maybe I'll get it even sooner. So let's go ahead and jump over here real quick to show you what it is that what you're missing out on, right? This is Ring Thing by Garrett Thomas. And I'm not even sure. Let's see if there's a release date. This is actually out of stock on Penguin, but the other website doesn't have the doesn't have the promotional video. So let's go ahead and get started with Ring Thing by Garrett Thomas, the real version. Well, okay there. So that is Ring Thing. You can pick it up from Vanishing Inc. Let me make sure I have that right. For $25. Let's see, this one's out of stock, but you can go to Vanishing Inc. and it's still available here for $25. So, and it is a download. You could get it as a DVD, but that's out of stock. So as the download, like I said, I will probably be asking Santa for this for Christmas. And what I really enjoy about it is that I love the fact that it includes a little bit of some coin work on there. So I love it even more now. So as you can see, it's already in my cart. So I'm happy about that. Now let's jump over here because we're going to be talking about Garrett Thomas, of course. Of course. The man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Garrett Thomas. So we're going to let his words speak for him moving forward, but then we're going to do a little bit of commentary to let you know where my experience kind of comes into play here. So Garrett Thomas is a master magician. He really is. And you can freeze this and take a look at it and get some little extra goodies there. There are some things to consider that a lot of this information is included in the videos that we're going to listen to. or watch as well. So the 4 of the 6 videos that he has here, we're going to be watching snippets of. One of them we're going to be watching like the whole thing, just because it's so good. But the Howie Mandel interview, you can watch that on your own time, and I do highly recommend the Magic is Advanced Empathy video. Check that out. Now, we're going to be starting with the gift of a moment, because this to me is a really good representation of what it's like to meet him for the first time in a performance like I had. And so I will show you what I have to show after this. Let's go ahead and jump into it with Garrett Thomas, The Gift of a Moment.
When you meet someone, they tell you their name, and their name tells you nothing about them. Even if they're a doctor, they could be a mad scientist. Doesn't mean they're a good person. My name is Garrett Thomas. See, those are the noises to make to get my attention. You make those noises in that order, I'm going to ask you, what do you want? However, my signature will tell you a lot more about me. Garrett is G-A-R-R, don't help me, E-T-T, 2 R's, and a funny-looking G. And that tells you a little bit about me, because that is both Garrett as well as Thomas, which is T-H-O-M-A-S, depending on how you look at it. And that tells you a lot about me. That tells you I have a lot of time on my hands, and I got to get out more. You see, I'm not technically a performance magician. What I like to do for a living is I invent, discover, create, make magic tricks. So my whole life, 100% of my income is either producing or inventing or discovering and performing magic illusions. Are you guys familiar with David Blaine? I've been one of the writers for the TV show since 2003. I perform at the Magic Castle once or twice a year in LA. I am known as a sleight of hand magician, so a lot of guys call me. I've worked with magicians all over the world. They call me when they need an answer when it comes to sleight of hand, because I look at things backwards because of one major blessing.
So we're going to stop there because he actually goes into detail in another video talking about his condition that he has, that he has turned into an advantage. But the things that I want to talk about here are the fact that he has, let's jump over here to the wider view so you can see what I'm holding up here. So I have his signature that he did for me at the show that I went to. So and it's pretty much looks identical to what he just did on that form on the board. He did that live. That's how he introduces himself. So if you want to stand out as a magician, do something a little bit different. It's okay to do something different. It's okay to follow in the footsteps of the great, but then you got to step out of the shadow and really exemplify yourself. And Garrett does this with everything that he does. So absolutely amazing. Now, the other thing he talks about is a principle that I have talked about and studied for years now, even before I got into magic, which is talking about perception. Because the way we perceive things, it just changes everything. Because your perception is different than somebody else's. But just look at his signature. If you happen to be hanging upside down, you see something different. But that's the point. You got to look at it from a different angle. If you're having a problem, step away and then come back, because then you'll see it from a different perspective. And you have to really kind of try to relate to other people who have different perspectives, because they're different and it's okay to be different. So that's really a very important thing there. So now the other thing that we want to talk about is, what is it that, in terms of being a magician and doing the magic, how does that really relate to creating magic? Because like he said, Garrett said he's a creator of magic, but then he performs that magic. So something that he does is something that I also try to embody, which is this. When I do something with magic, whether it be a coin or cards or anything of the like, what I like to do is I want to figure out what it looks like if real magic were happening. And in this case, that's exactly what Garrett Thomas does. So let's jump back over here real quick so that you can see just that. From beginning to end, the creative mind is present. So let's take a look. For Murphy's Magic, Imagination Coins by Garrett Thomas.
There is no magic without imagination. I have a basic rule. Give them what they expect, then what they want. Then take them further. Give them what they could never imagine. You're going to be the hands. So if any sleight of hand happens, it's because you did it. 4 coins. All I want you to do is just stack the coins up in the middle of your hand. You can use your other hand.
Okay.
Perfect. I want you to imagine that you took one of those coins, you gave it to me. So with your hand, pretend to pick one up and pretend to give it to me. Yep, with your hand, just pick up an imaginary coin.
Okay.
Perfect. Give me it. Did you give me a coin or did you just imagine?
Imagine.
Everything in life starts with imagination. Don't freak out. And somehow I have one of your coins. Make sure this is real and not a figment of your imagination.
Okay.
Place your hand out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Stack them up again, put them right in the middle. Perfect. The first time you imagined you gave me one, somehow it happened. This time I want you to actually take one and really give it to me. Then close up your hand and hold those tight. Fair?
Okay.
You did all the work.
Okay, yes.
The question is still the same. Did you give me a coin or did you just imagine that you gave me a coin?
I gave you a coin.
Does everyone agree?
Yes.
I think all of you have overactive imaginations because I have nothing and all 4 coins back.
What?
It is the next level to empower your audience to do the magic right in their own hands. It's simple with imagination. Every child knows that with imagination, anything is possible. It is the gift of a new and impossible moment. It is an empowering experience that people will remember forever.
And that is absolutely true, Garrett Thomas. That, to me, just shows exactly what we are talking about when we talk about doing magic and the perception of what it is that we do and how we carry ourselves. Craig Petty says that if you are a magician and you are out in the wild, then you should be able to do magic everywhere because you do magic. It's not the props. It's not that. It's not any of that. It's really just how you present yourself. And if you're a magician, then make sure that you can create that magic moment anywhere you go. More on that later. But before we get into that, I want to talk about TubeBuddy. Yes, TubeBuddy. You can check out the link right up above here, maybe up above there in front of the mic. So yeah, if you're wanting to get into YouTube, check out TubeBuddy. If you're already established on YouTube, go ahead and check it out. It's only going to help you get better. Here's what it's done for me. I went from 20 to 30 average views on my video, upwards over 100 in like a week or two. It can happen for you. You got to put in the work and you can get these for free. Yes, there's a free version that you can download today using my link, or you can jump right into a subscription and get even more goodies. I highly recommend TubeBuddy for you. And if you already have an established channel, you have the opportunity to become an affiliate, which will then allow you to get the free subscriptions to try them out even sooner. So go ahead and check out that link today. Now let's jump back into talking about Garrett Thomas returning to Deep Dive into the Archive. This is one of the first, if not the first, videos that Garrett Thomas put onto his YouTube channel. And this is really a very intimate introduction to who he is, because the first video was a public lecture that we're kind of seeing, from the rear view type of view. He's not talking directly to us. We're getting the information secondhand there. The second one we looked at was a promotional video that really had that energy packed into it. Now, the next one is Garrett Thomas Be Different, which really just allows us to see into the man himself in a very intimate setting where he's talking directly to us. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Here is Garrett Thomas, Be Different.
We are here. Thank you for all your support. The speed at which everybody subscribed, over 400 subscribers with one teaser video. It tells me you've been waiting far too long for this. I'm sorry for my late arrival to the game, but I am here, so let's get this party started. Many of you know me as a magician. In many ways, I like to think of myself as an artist. Magic is my medium, and the moment is my canvas. I grew up in a home filled with art. My mother was a professional artist. My father was a contractor and a carpenter. I have 3 younger, extremely creative sisters. All of us under one roof, making, building, shaping something. Everything in our house we made. One day I was over a friend's house, and I asked who made this art piece I had seen on the wall. And did you make it? Was it from a family or a friend? And he said he didn't know, that he just liked it. And this threw me off. In my home, everything on the walls, and maybe even the walls themselves, were things we created. Just liking something and putting it in your home seemed odd to me. I thought, why would you hang somebody else's soul on your wall? That would be like inviting a stranger into your home. I thought this, not realizing I was the minority. I was diagnosed with dyslexia just before entering my senior year of high school. While the diagnosis came late, being dyslexic ended up being one of the greatest blessings in my life. In hindsight, I realized that I was problem solving even how to get through school. It forced me to look at the world in a different way, and in the end, on my own terms. Art became my means of expression and survival. I was drawn to art even more because of dyslexia, but it was a way to portray the two-dimensional plane, to cave it in. That flat piece of paper that would often just have words, I could push through those words and create the illusion of depth using lines, shading, and perspection.
I really want to get through the rest of that video, but I highly recommend that you check it out for yourself without me in the background. Now, as we move into the next thing, I want to go back to talk about what I talked about with Craig Petty, which is creating magic, right? Now, creating magic when you are not the magician. Are you wearing the suit? Are you just out on the street with your jeans, whatever? You should still be able to create magic. And what Garrett does for us, and we're going to show you an example of this in The Amazing Magician. The Penn and Teller is a fantastic show that lets us see into the working minds of so many different magicians. And one of Garrett Thomas's things, I opened up with this, the ring. The ring is his thing, right? I know you can't see it too well with the smaller. Here, let's get real close. So he can do magic with things that you can wear. But it's not just that. I highly recommend that if you really wanted to get into performance magic, that you learn how to do magic with nothing. With your body, with your mind, with your voice, with all the things, so that you don't even need props. We're talking about propless magic and goes into mentalism, but it's not just that. It's about the performance. If you've watched the videos here and you see the way that he moves his hands, the way that he crafts everything, the way that he talks, everything is not just a performance, but it's captivating. So let's go ahead and finish off with Penn and Teller's Fool Us. he hands off the ring and then does magic with his bare hands. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. Okay, we did break it up a little bit there at the end. I do apologize for that. Uh, it's beautiful, right? Because he goes through this whole thing with the ring in how it's going through the fingers, and then halfway through he changes it up, and he turns your expectation on its head, and he gives you a reason of why what's happening is happening. So it's just absolutely gorgeous magic, and it really exemplifies what it is that we're talking. Changing up perspective, being unique and being a little bit different, and just going out there and just succeeding in such a powerful way in front of Teller. Like right here, here's it in your hands. And then he does the magic. So something absolutely wonderful for you, and I hope that you've enjoyed this journey as we dug deep and we dove into the archive to bring you this absolutely stellar knowledge about these magicians that are still out there. Now, I do want you to pay attention to some of the videos that we're going to be having coming out this week. They're going to be talking about some of the specific releases, like Ring Thing, but we're also going to be looking at some of his other work that might not be as well known, because that's what this is all about. Not only about his life work, but about the work that he's done in his life. Ha-cha! So don't forget to check out TubeBuddy. Look at this microphone. Don't forget to check it out up above there. And of course, don't forget to check out the link to Garrett Thomas's website. And if you do need a ring, don't forget that we do have a ring giveaway happening on the channel, as well as a 12-deck brick giveaway of cards. All you got to do is just comment below ring giveaway or card giveaway in the comments to join. We still have open slots for those. So please, I'd like to get rid of them before Christmas. Come on, people, join the giveaways. Thank you, everybody. And remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And don't forget to subscribe. It'll be right here on the microphone. And don't forget, check out this video that's just for you. Yeah, it's just for you. And of course, down here, ha-cha, we're going to have TubeBuddy. And today, for your pleasure, a Garrett Thomas video to check out. Okay, bye.